This is an overview of a hike that we did in Sedona. I'm calling it the Ridge Trail, but it was actually a collection of trails that we pulled together. And that's why you see me with my app. I had to sort of figure that out. We started at a neighborhood park called Sunset Park, and that took us to Lollipop Trail, to Sunset Trail, to Bandit Trail, to Ridge Trail, Sketch Trail, and then we made our way back. This was supposed to be one of the least crowded trails in Sedona. It's a busy time right now because it's March break. And so I thought, okay, maybe we'll be fine. And then we hit this corner, and all of a sudden, all sorts of people were coming out onto the trail. I stopped here to take a few photos of the riverbed and had this massive collection of people go by. And I strongly suspect, because they saw a guy with a big camera, they said, oh, well, I'm going to have to take a picture here as well. And a few of them are doing that as they walk by. But as they moved ahead, I'm not sure which way they went, but from that point, really through most of the trail, we had very little company. With perhaps one exception. We had helicopters. Oh my. It was a constant run of helicopters coming and going. I mean, we hugged the airport with this particular trail. So I guess it's not a surprise that there would be some aircraft. But clearly the helicopter tour business in Sedona is big business. Now this was a Saturday, so that probably accounts for all of that helicopter traffic that we kept seeing. But it was, I'm not going to say it was almost relentless, but for about, I don't know, maybe 2 miles, it was all you heard. Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter. Anyway, we progressed, got to some really beautiful vistas. The trailhead that you may have noticed just on the left side of the screen as it passed, that's where we were originally going to go. We couldn't go there, so we continued straight and had some wonderful views of Sedona. We did run into a few bikers on these trails, and bless their hearts, parts of these trails are very, very narrow. And I think definitely a high difficulty area for cyclists. When we came down to Ridge and took Sketch, it was here that we were taking more of a footpath, I think, than a trail, with a very steep runoff down that mountain. But again, you know, you're rewarded with amazing views as you go. And I was taking so many frames as we were wandering along this part of the trail that I knew when I got back home there'd be, you know, a fair amount of post-processing to do. We did run into a couple of cyclists on this segment. They actually waited for us at the top of this part of the trail, and you know, they made it, but it's tricky. We did stop for lunch at a certain point, just beyond this corner, and we ran into a couple of old-timers who were complaining about how much work they had doing these emergency pull-out services. And there's Lorraine, hi, having fun. Their pull-out services, I guess hikers get either lost or they get stranded. And part of their role, I guess, is to respond to those calls, head out and pull them out. I asked them, you know, is there a lot of that going on in Sedona? Oh yes, quite a few. This is where we chatted with them. I'm having a break here for lunch, as is Lorraine. And they came into this area and we probably chatted for about 15, 20 minutes. Two nice gentlemen. But at that point, it was time for us to make our way back. So, you know, we reconnected with Ridge and we found our way back to the Sunset Trail, to the Lollipop Trail, which, you know, eventually leads to a park. And I don't know, at the end of this part of the trail into the parking lot, there's a bench. I guess we could have sat there and enjoyed the sunset.